Hey, a lot is going on in this video. A lot has happened since the last time we chatted. A little bit of a spoiler for Brett's channel on Expedition Engineering, but this is very, very near completion, and it's time to get solar panels on the top because it is time to just start, you know, finishing. And that's part of that. So that is what we are doing today. We're gonna work on top of this. We're gonna get some solar panels on it, and I am speaking to you from the future. I'm about to jump back like 3 days because I am just filming this right now to let you guys know what's going on in this video, but like, sneak peek, oh. That's how you get to see. Now I have to watch the video. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, it's been a minute. I got sick. I don't really want to talk about it yet because I don't know why I got sick or what's going on, and it's really sad. But in the meantime, let's be happy and install some solar panels.
I'm happy about solar panels.
Woo!
So excited to have this room back.
Me too.
This has been one of the biggest downsides of this project is that we've forfeited our spare room
To store
solar panels. We are very ready to have that room back and have solar panels again. You say you disagree? That's not the biggest downside?
Yeah.
Good boy, Dingo.
Hi, handsome boy.
Good Sphinx. You'd never know that a couple days ago he was at the vet because his hips hurt.
I know.
Look at that.
He's just
It's like
fine.
perfect.
He just needs to stretch before he runs now.
Yeah.
He's gotten to that age.
What we're testing right now is there's some level changes from this level to here. So we need to know how much is the solar panel going to show that, because we need to know, you know, how perfectly do we need to fare this before we put on the primer, because we need to put on a primer before we can paint it, but we might need to put on a high build primer, then sand, you know, get it more faired, or fair it, then primer. So that's what we're trying to see right now. Dingo, you look trapped.
We're just going to put this back in the box as quickly as possible before we hurt it.
Good plan. What are these holes all about, Jade?
I've got the hole drilled bigger for the rigging, and then I've added a bit of a foam cap that I'm now going to go ahead and go carbon over. That should, I think, just help it look a little more aesthetic. And then also I'm about to patch the unintentional holes so that there'll only be one hole by the end of my work. So I'm just about to mix up the last tiny bit of epoxy in the bottom of this. This is the last that we have until our shipment comes in.
Nice.
I made 26 grams. Hopefully it's enough to get this all, the sun's a bit bright. So I promise I'm not scowling at you, it's just the sun. We are going to go ahead and measure it now that we have our final product. Dingo. Now that we have it completed, we're gonna get the final measurements on it and make sure we're gonna see if the measurements are right for the solar panels. All right, red is the area of the outside edges of the hardtop, like it's the gutter and then it curves for the shading. And so then the yellow on top of that is kind of our workable area for where the solar panels will sit based on how we built the gutters. So the task right now is
That was electrifying? No, enlightening. We were in here, just got done walking the dogs, and all of a sudden heard somebody yelling, "Brett, Brett, Brett!" So I opened up the hatch real quick and looked out, and the cockpit was on fire.
we lent somebody our extension cord today, so they had power working on their little boat, because the little boats on the little trailerable boats, they don't have power. But we have power, so we lent him the extension cord, and he had it like nice and tucked. When we got home from the walk, they left while we were gone. But the power was shipped to the boat, so Brett turned the power back on. We just figured that maybe they surged or something.
Exactly,
like,
used
no
too
big
much
deal.
power, who knows, you know, nothing obvious was wrong.
We still don't know what happened, but when Brett flicked the power back on, that extension cord caught fire and ignited our bag of trash that was in the cockpit.
So not much damage.
Yeah, we'll see tomorrow.
So this is the extension cord that will show more light tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah, so our winch handle got a little melted.
Oh,
wait, no,
Is
actually, it's just trash bag.
Oh, nice.
That's nice. Same for our helm.
Yes, we had a trash bag sitting right here, and and I came out, I knew it was on fire, so I just grabbed the part that wasn't on fire and threw it to the dock to get it, because, you know, docks are concrete. Unfortunately, the bag ripped into shreds as I threw it, so it fell into the ocean, so then we had to dig it out of the ocean, which was fine. We had to fish it all out.
Fortunately, it all floated.
Doesn't look like there's really any damage. Maybe a little bit of like pitting down here.
Is it pitted?
I don't know. Pretty well we could clean
Yeah,
it
a
real
little
good.
bit. That's probably the worst spot there.
But I mean,
This is just like
smoked. Yeah.
So
But that can
should
probably
buff
buff out. Yeah.
we melted through Dave and Hollis's hose though, so.
Yeah, we owe them a new hose. I wonder if
Yeah.
it did any damage to the actual vacuum.
No, see, it just cut the hose in half.
It just cut the hose in half. Something to be said about making friends with your neighbors.
Yeah.
So actually, the way it worked is somebody was walking up. There's a top deck up there that people were just kind of walking, you know, look at the boats and look at sunsets and everything. And a lady was walking by and called down to our friend and said, "Hey, mira, 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 you know, look," because she could see into our cockpit and saw that there was a fire. She actually saw the spark. And so she was yelling at him, so then he came running over and yelled at me. It was so fast. But, I mean, had we not got that bag out of here, that bag was going up quick.
Yeah.
So that could have been
Yeah, because it was super flammable.
crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, and then she came back. She finished her walking. As she was walking back, she hollered down at us. She said that she saw it happen. She's like, it was definitely an electrical fire because I saw it spark. So, lucky.
Yep.
We're really good people looking out for us tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you to Dingo and random stranger lady walking on your evening jog.
Yep. Whew. And none of us got hurt. We just did a little inventory. Jade didn't get hurt. I have
I
a little bit of
stepped
a
on fire
plastic
at
stuck
one
to my
point.
foot,
But it didn't burn me, so that's good. I jumped down. Brett got the trash bag off the boat while I got the hose disconnected, and then I sprayed it all down, and then it was easy. And we didn't even have to use a fire extinguisher because those things are so messy.
Yep. Hose was quicker and closer.
It was all handled very well. Everybody involved did a great job.
Yep.
And I don't think there's any damage.
I don't think there's any real damage. A little bit of discoloration, but I think we can probably get 99% of it out.
This was our first boat fire. We've never had a fire on board before.
Okay, well, now that our adrenaline is pumping, we're up all night. So maybe we're just going to finish this project now.
Might as well. I mean, tomorrow morning is painting. We gotta do it first thing in the morning before it's too hot, because it gets cooking up there. In other news, here's how this turned out. I'm very happy with it. Doing these little finish details makes me feel more like, hey, maybe pretty soon it's going to be finished, and that is very exciting. We just need some more carbon and some more epoxy for some other jobs, such as over here, but those should be coming tomorrow morning. So things are rightly chugging along. Gracias.
Amazing.
That was fantastic. Now we can finish getting real.
This episode is sponsored by AG1. We've been drinking AG1 for years now. You guys know this. You've seen us drinking it both in ads, not in ads. With all of our work that we've been doing, both on this hardtop here on the boat and at the shop, we've been busy. And so it's awesome to have something so convenient, so easy. In the mornings, we will wake up, we'll make some coffee, and we'll take some supplements that help with our skin so we don't get sunburned. But then we'll also make AG1. 8 ounces of water, a scoop of AG1, and it's just a drinkable scoop of vitamins, minerals, probiotics, and whole food source ingredients, all in one little scoop, validated by research and formulated to help your whole body, your brain, and your gut thrive. It's a really easy, convenient way to get a bunch of vitamins and minerals and probiotics, things that we might have a hard time getting otherwise. And I don't really care who you are. Having something that is so easy, that helps with your immune support and gives you energy and helps with your gut is a no-brainer. And right now, AG1 is cheaper than a typical cup of coffee, less than $3 a day. So go use the QR code on screen or use the link drinkag1.com/expeditionevans. There's a link on screen, link in the description. Go check it out. And thank you to AG1 for sponsoring today's episode.
To a busy, productive day. A warm day. That's why we're getting coffee. Okay, primer. It's getting real, babe.
Let's do it.
I'm excited to see what it looks like all one color.
Me too. Go, Jade. We need to get the top cleaned and prepped. It's already all sanded from yesterday, and so today we just need to clean it. We now have our paint, and maybe pick up the cockpit a little because it's a little chaotic.
A bit.
So we're sending Jade up with her bucket and mop, and we'll get cleaning.
I swear I look so much like Cinderella right now. I've got like my yellow bandana. I'm just like up here on my hands and knees. Like an elevated Cinderella, elevated form of Cinderella. This is a fingerprint from when I did this layup where some epoxy just got a little on like my knees and walked around. So it's very slightly elevated. Is that going to be a problem? Probably. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and, you see this here? This is where I put those plugs back in. Turned out great, but there's still a little bit of a divot, and then also the hole in the center here needs to be filled. See that? So that's just what I'm gonna do right now, and it should cure up super fast, and then I can sand it. It is steaming. That's crazy. Yeah, here, will you just drench this in acetone and then hand it up? Acetone is a really good thing to use in this sort of situation because we don't want any water or wetness when we do any sort of epoxy work. Thank you. Should do it. Okay, babe, want to get up here and start washing with me? It is so overcast today. Clouds everywhere, but we think that they're gonna burn off, and we think as soon as they burn off, it's gonna be very hot. And once it's very hot, we won't be able to apply the primer because it'll just cook and that won't work. When it comes to epoxy, anything epoxy, it's a two-part chemical mixture. It's a chemical reaction which causes it to cure and harden. And because of the chemical reaction, it's really important to get the temperatures right. So it can't be too cold and it can't be too hot. So right now, it is neither too cold or too hot. It also can't be too humid. So sometimes you really got to work within those boundaries, and this morning seems like a good shot at it. So right now we are just trying our best to get this clean. And once it's clean, we can just roll on the epoxy. It's really not a big deal. It's just like applying paint that you have to mix very specifically and carefully first and then apply it at the right temperature. It's just like paint.
Just like paint.
Just like paint. We did the first clean by just spraying it off with water, and then the second clean, wiping it off with microfiber cloths and water, and then the third clean by wiping it off with microfiber cloths and acetone, and the fourth clean we'll be wiping it off with paper towels and acetone. Paper towels are the most effective, but obviously like we don't want to be super wasteful with our disposables. I should take a breath, but I want to hurry. They're getting thinner every minute, and as soon as the sun's right there, as soon as that comes out, this is going to get so hot, especially the black areas. So we want it to already be on by then. Now that it is thoroughly cleaned on the top, we can start getting serious about actually putting this epoxy on, which is good because the clouds are starting to break, so it's gonna get warm soon. So now is the time. We're about to mix our two parts. We've got our base, and then we've got our catalyzer. So we are going to put the catalyst into the base, and then we give it a really good mix, and then we will let it sit for 10 minutes. That'll help it start to kick the chemical reaction and also help a lot of the bubbles to disperse. And then at that point, we will begin rolling. It's like a really sad winter day.
All right, is that all gonna fit in there?
I think so.
I think so. So I guess we're using all of this.
Guess so.
Let's do this.
Okay, it's time. Probably should put gloves on me. Where are my gloves?
There we go.
The function of an epoxy-based primer like this, it's gonna create a bridge between our carbon fiber epoxy layup and the paint. If we were to paint directly on this, the paint would not stick. It would just peel off. It wouldn't be able to bond to it. So this can bond to the epoxy, and then the paint can bond to this.
And the idea is, because we're only doing where the solar panels are going, in theory, the solar panel should be able to stick to this better than just the raw carbon.
Rather than painting the whole thing and then covering up the paint with solar panels. It will save us a lot of money because paint's expensive. And secondly, it will, there's just no harm done because the solar panels are going to be on for a number of years. So if the solar panels were ever taken off and it's like, oh no, there's no paint under them, that's going to be fine, because even if we did paint under them, by the time the solar panels got taken off, the rest of the paint will have faded in the sun so much that it will need to be repainted anyway.
It'll be a different color anyway.
Yeah.
It feels like we're in a time crunch, but we're really not. The only thing we're in a time crunch for is temperature because of the sun, but the actual working time of this is a long time. We have several hours. But this, if it gets too hot, this black is already getting quite warm. So that's our limiting factor. You're doing a great job.
Thanks, honey.
Why are you laughing?
Because I am in fact not doing a great job. I'm doing a quick job.
Does that count for something?
Yeah.
Jade is just wrapping up the last of the top. I'm really interested to see how it evens out, because right now you can still see kind of where it's wet, where we've rolled extra, where it's a little thicker, where it's a little thinner, but I think it should, for the most part, all dry to the same color, more or less. There might be a little bit of variation. This looks really cool. It looks really big now. 7,000 watts of solar. Isn't that what's gonna fit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
I think so. We're going to supply electricity to half of Spain. Done. Used up all of the paint, and the sun just came out.
I'm gonna see what temperature it is up there. We have these little pucks.
We have two Ruvi pucks, one outside, one inside, because they show temperature and pressure and I think humidity. And so I got that because I want to be able to monitor the boat inside and outside when we're gone, and because they can link up to the Victron, which then can link up to the Starlink. I can then see that from anywhere.
74.5 degrees Fahrenheit. So well within our limits.
Well within.
Good.
Beautiful day.
Do we film fairing it up?
No. We spent a little bit of time putting on a little bit of the high build fairing.
Not be running the vacuum.
We put on a little bit more of the high build fairing filler in a couple places just to make it a little smoother.
Mostly where we had connected the three together, that carbon hadn't been faired out with the high build yet. So when we did the epoxy primer on top, you could kind of see the texture. So we smoothed it out, sanded it, and now once we clean it, we'll be ready for the second coat of this. And that should be it. Right, Brett?
Yeah, once the sun cools down a little bit, it's still pretty hot, we can throw on another layer.
We lost another day to rain. It rained all day yesterday, so we couldn't really work at all because rain and epoxy enemies.
Do not mix.
Yep. This vacuum still being alive is like one of the most ridiculous things that has happened in my life. 5 years on the sea.
Doing this sort of stuff. We were just looking up at the clouds. It's a little suspicious looking.
The rain has made this project at the end, final stretch, just drag. We really can't do anything on a day when it rains, even if it only rains for 1 hour. It rained for at least a little bit every single day for 3 weeks straight. So for 3 weeks, I'm just complaining. So done. Also, we got another dog.
Just a rental.
Huh.
Hi, Pax.
You've been abandoned.
I don't know if the channel's seen Pax before.
I don't know. She's our friend's dog. We're babysitting.
She's a golden doodle, and she loves the water. But we have learned that she takes forever to dry.
So long.
The whole day in the sun.
Stays wet.
She went swimming this morning, and it's like 3 in the afternoon, and she is still wet.
We need to get bean bags or something. We've had these sail bags up here and they love them. What if we got rid of that hatch and just turned it into a window?
Just like made it solid so it doesn't open. We rarely open it.
We have this whole big space. We could do yoga.
Ooh.
I figured we could just do yoga up here.
Back to work.
Okay.
As Mike Patey would say. The roofie just updated and it is over 95 degrees up on top of the hardtop. Place to puck up here. It is too hot to paint. So we got the fairing filler sanded down, but we can't do anything until this evening. I mean, we can clean, but we can't do anything painting wise until it cools down. Or
we create shade. It's very humid and dewy in the evening, and so it might not cure in time before the dew point hits, and that can also mess up the cure process because of the humidity. So the only solution is to paint first thing early in the morning as soon as the dew burns off. But we've got the whole day and we don't want to wait till tomorrow to paint it. So right now I'm trying to set up some tarps in a way that will shade this. The problem is that this is our shade, so we've got to shade our shade.
look at all that shade. Free shade.
Cool.
And then we just tie this end. Just making a little pole to stick it out. Show us your work.
I just stuck our boat hook through the D-ring and kind of jammed it in the corner there. Tied it. So let's step back and see how much shade we've shaded our shade. We can see what the temperature, what did it get up to, do you know? I guess
it was at 97 when I last looked.
Okay, and max temp it's allowed is 95. What an effort. That was an hour of me running around on the hardtop, off the hardtop, on the dock, jumping on the dock, jumping, climbing. That was like genuinely exercise. We've got both up now. It's not 100% shaded yet, but the sun is on a path like so. So pretty soon I think it will be shaded the rest of the way. So late afternoon. Oh wow, and it's already so much cooler. Hey Brett, could you bring the rubies up and put one in the sunny side and one in the shade? So you can see how much of a temperature difference the shade gives. So I have it coming through this. Another hole here. I'm actually pretty proud of getting it to work. So now we just need the sun to set a little bit, which is good because we have to clean it anyway and do some sanding. So we aren't quite ready for painting. Close. Oh, that one's a black one. Quite the pattern going on here. All the fairing.
There's like sun left.
I know, because I did such a fabulous job.
You're amazing.
It took an hour of my time, and I'm very tired. I'm gonna have some.
You're quite red too.
Oh, yeah, I'm red from the exercise and the heat, not from the sun. Just.
You were in the shade?
No, I wasn't in the shade, but I did put sunscreen on, so I shouldn't be burnt. Oh, I'm very red. Okay, I'm gonna take some antihistamines. In other news, today there is a nationwide blackout, a nationwide power outage across Spain and Portugal and Andorra and parts of France, and then some reports I read from Belgium as well. The power is so out, and I don't know why, nobody knows why yet. So, but this is a really good reminder to why we want solar panels, so we don't have to depend on a grid. Because
Pax's parents just texted.
Yeah.
And said that they got signal as soon as they crossed the border into France.
Because all the cell towers were down.
Uh-huh.
I don't think that the power's back on yet, is it?
No, it's not.
Yeah,
Oh, it's not for us.
The power's been off for hours now. Anyway, solar panels. But also it's really sad because we live in an area right now in Barcelona. Where we are right now, we're very close to where a lot of elderly people live. And people here are so healthy, they live forever. So we've got like a bunch of 90-year-olds and they come down every day and have lunch at the cafes, and they'll often have their kids or care workers bring them down in their wheelchairs so that they can be outside and have a meal. And that is when the power went out. And so a lot of them are stuck outside right now, stuck downstairs, like in the streets at the cafes, because they can't get up the elevator because all of the power's out. And it's really sad. But I guess it's better than stuck in your apartment. Maybe. It's a hot day.
Yeah.
So hopefully they have some good shade. And everybody's off work. The beach is packed.
Yeah.
So your face just got really red too. Did you forget to breathe?
Probably. The sun has gone down enough that we just took down the sunshades because earlier Jade washed off the top. So then it was wet with water. Now it is drying and we are going to, don't want to lose this guy. Now it's all clean-ish, but it's dusty. Now it's a bit of a rush before, I mean, we got lots of time. Sun's not too low, but we do need to get it on and curing before the sun starts going down too much, because then the dew point and ruin it. Top is all cleaned, dried. Now I need to mix up this guy, maybe make a place to clean, because right now it's a bit messy.
Let's go.
We're gloved up, brush is ready, and now we're gonna start painting it on. Sun's still high, so we should be fine. We just need at least 30 minutes is really all we need for it to, with how warm it is, for it to cure enough that if it starts getting humid later, it'll be okay. Do you want to hand it up?
I was like walking really absent-mindedly and then was like, oh my gosh, I'm like walking carrying and then
a bucket of epoxy.
Freaked me out and I'm like, oh, I should pay attention.
Boat's rocking and this is getting really close to the lip.
Very happy about that. We've done it, all of it, painted, painted, painted. It looks great.
Looks really good.
Looks a lot more even than last time. Still a bit not, because I think the parts that aren't all the way dry where we recoated are a little shiny. But
that's all it is. There's definitely less ridges than last time.
Definitely.
Better rollers.
These rollers did really well. All in all, I'm super happy with how that went. And now we'll see how it turns out. We've got an hour and a half of sun before, and it's still quite warm from the day.
Now we'll go walk the dogs up top, take a look from up top, we'll bring you guys, and decide if we need another coat.
Would you like to?
Tomorrow. Sure.
Oh my goodness, she's really licky. Candy isn't usually so much of a licker. That was kind of surprising, honestly. And her breath really stinks. Hey, guys. Okay, 100%. Do you know where I'm going with this?
No.
100%. Completely, totally, without a doubt, off topic and unapplicable to this whole video. But I've discovered this app in the EU. It's called Vinted, and you can get, it's basically like a secondhand. It's kind of like Poshmark. You can get secondhand things, but the prices are outrageously good. People here are like, you know, maybe I won't just throw this out and I'll just sell it for €2 or whatever. And so I just got for us a 100% wool king size blanket, 100% wool. It's so thick and stretchy, and I think it's gonna be really warm, and it's super cute. It's got these fuzzies on the end. 20 euros. 20 euros. I got a 100% wool. 100% wool.
Wait, how many percent?
100%!
Is that all of them?
That might be like the pinnacle of secondhand shopping for me. This might be.
You just won secondhand? You just won thrifting?
I think I might have just won thrifting.
For luck? Yeah, let's go.
They do in fact want to go on a walk. There it is.
Yeah. Dingo, come.
Tiny, come. Good girl. Wait. Wait. There we go. Okay.
We know the power's still out because you can hear the generator running for the supermarket over there. It's so loud.
Not just any supermarket, Mercadona. Which we have realized is now like forever. I didn't know I could have a favorite supermarket. Like I didn't know I could be incredibly biased, but the rest of the world for the rest of my life
is going to be compared to Mercadona.
And it will
probably fail.
Never compare. Mercadona's the best, but their generator's very loud.
Yeah, if we have one thing to complain about, is that in all of our time here, we've heard their generator once, and it's loud.
Yeah, they should really work on that.
Everybody is out on a walk right now. Nothing else to do. It is actually a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day. They should all come on a walk anyway. I saw a bunch of headlines. It was like, chaos, panic, whatever. Like within an hour of all the power going out, like, and we're just looking around and nobody...
Country plunges into chaos and darkness and turmoil.
And it's like, yeah, I'm sure somewhere it's really stressful, like if you're at the airport or something.
Or stuck in a tunnel in a train.
That would be chaotic. But for most people so far, it's just everybody was like really calm about it, really chill. So.
Okay, we're coming up on our boat now.
Okay.
There she is. Well, that looks pretty good.
Okay.
Just admiring our work.
You can see exactly how well it's drying and in what places.
Also didn't realize the boat was a little crooked in the slip, in the mooring, whatever. So maybe we should fix that. Okay, a couple observations. We might want to do more fairing. A lot of it will get covered by solar panels. So a lot of the little flaws and things you won't see because it's going to get covered in solar panels, which we knew and have planned on. But some of it you will see.
Some more fairing to do. This girl looks so much like Ayana. I wish she was Ayana.
Okay, I think that is it for the day. Back on the boat. Dogs.
Oh,
we should have filmed the dogs. They played a bunch.
They really like the
Yeah, we became friends with our neighbors over there. They're leaving early tomorrow morning. So we hung out with them a little bit, say goodnight, goodbye, and
Dingo loves them so much.
Dingo loves them, yeah. So as soon as I saw him on the deck, I unleashed Dingo. I was like, go get him. So he took off and ran, and now he's exhausted, huh, buddy? Do you want some dinner? Are you hungry? Yeah? Okay. It's almost time to get our room back. These are so light. We have gone through multiple renditions on the computer trying to figure out the most ideal way of orienting these panels.
Fortunately, it's a perfectly calm day, which means that we don't have to worry about these blowing away while we're trying to figure them out. We have, and it's been windy a lot lately, so for there to be absolutely no wind today is fantastic, phenomenal. Fantastic.
So these are nice and foam covered right now, so I mean we'll have to unwrap them.
It's so big.
Take it away, Arn. As huge as this hardtop is, right now the best we can figure is 1800 watts, which I mean that's a lot. Don't get me wrong. With our angles and with these angles, we almost can fit a lot more.
It's supposed to be 2000. It's so hot. I can't believe how hot it is.
My tan.
I like it. Do you know how sometimes water just tastes like the best thing in the whole world? This is one of those times. We chopped a whole section.
We chopped a huge chunk off the back of the...
Because we put it up...
This used to be...
I'm like, how is it so wrong? How did I get it so wrong with how many panels we got?
Yeah, that used to be a whole other 200 watts larger.
Yeah, we had it sticking off the back of the boat further, and then we did a actual on the boat try on and decided that it felt too big.
Yep.
So we chopped it, and that's why all of our solar panels don't fit, and that's why no matter how I configure it, I can't make it 2000 watts again, because it used to be 2000 watts. 1800.
Yep.
Okay,
That makes more sense.
That does make more sense.
We are going to set up one of our shades so that we can work up there, at least on part of it, in the shade. Oh yeah?
You go tighten this?
Yep. There we go. Our sail shade is now shading. So now the idea is we need to clean so that when we stick the solar panels down, they will actually stick and stay. But before we do that, actually, we need to clean and then make some guidelines. Kind of give us some like center line and, you know, one panel over to make sure we keep everything nice and straight and not all scawampus. Scawampus. Yeah, anybody know the origin of that one? If you know, leave a comment without using Google or ChatGPT. I know I could ask them, and they'd both get it right, probably. ChatGPT might lie. Yeah, ChatGPT would just make some cool story up. But if you know, let me know.
What do you think? Is it hot in this end?
Is it 150 degrees out there?
Her teeth are looking really clean. We started putting fish food on the dog food. Basically, you can buy this algae. Brett found it, and it's a dog plaque algae, and you put it on their dog food, and it like sands off the plaque when they eat. And it's been great because our dogs have turned a corner. They're not puppies anymore, and
they're now middle age.
They started having dirty teeth that we had to clean all the time, and also they're not chewing coconuts anymore, which
that's probably what it is.
That's what it is. It has nothing to do with their age. Definitely not. They're just babies. He's just a pupper. Dingo, what do you think? I don't even know where he is. Man down. Brett was going up, and I was standing here working, and so this was partially shut like this.
I stood up and do it really hard.
He was coming out with so much enthusiasm.
Lesson learned. No enthusiasm.
I just hear bang, and then I look down because I'm standing on it, right? I look down and I see Brett falling. He kind of blacked out a little bit.
Yeah, my world definitely went dim. Kind of like the whole like constricted down to like a pinhole camera style thing.
Yeah. So he's just gonna lay there a minute, and then we'll do the concussion test.
Is that where it starts with "Who are you"?
Who are you? What is Mr. Egan's favorite breakfast?
I've recovered. Wish me luck. Oh, almost got me again.
Pro tip. And close it before he steps in. Okay. I'm just trying to get rid of you today, apparently. Okay. So what we're going to do now before we move on is remove the blush. Last night after we rolled it on, it reached the thumbprint stage, so almost fully cured, before the sun went down, and then there was a little while longer before it started to get misty, like dewy. So we're confident that it achieved enough of a cure before the humidity was a problem. You can see how it's kind of a weird finish. Oh, this wipes off super easy. Okay, no big deal. I'll stop pouting. We confident in that mark?
So?
Okay. This is, without a doubt, the most important mark. Now, I'm being a little bit dramatic, a little bit over the top, a little bit of hyperbole, but very important because we have to get this center line correct. So all the other measurements will be based off of this line to make sure that our entire installation of these solar panels is not cockeyed and that it fits nicely on the hardtop.
This is our port starboard center, and now we're going to run a line from the rig to here. And just have, if we had a chalk line, that'd be great, but we don't.
To see if we trust the line, I'm first going to mark it here, where we can easily verify the measurement.
Are you kidding me?
I lost my balance because I leaned forward with my legs and I was gonna fall.
Apologize to our hardtop right now.
in the end. 25.
12 and a half.
That looks exactly perfect.
Cool. That's a good sign.
Okay, so now let's grab the level and we'll connect these two lines with a straight edge.
Okay, we are officially putting on the first solar panel. We're starting with a 100 skinny, and then it all will go from there. So we marked it all, traced it all a lot, measured it a lot.
Still pretty nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Because this is 3M mounting tape.
Very, very sticky,
It
secure.
will not unstick.
Nope.
I didn't realize how afraid of commitment I actually am. You were easy to commit to, so.
Aww.
But like this panel,
Yeah, this is pretty sticky.
Do I really want it here for the rest of forever?
Yeah.
Okay, now we just have to stick the tape down really good.
Steamroller Jade. We have a solar panel. Ooh,
That was a really good high five. This is deserving of that, I think.
It's working. Phone here.
Let's try to decide what about.
One more walking the dogs, and then we'll take a look from up top and take a look at our 3 solar panels. Jade just announced that she feels like picking a fight.
You know, sometimes you just really feel like kicking a fight. This is one of those ones. Going through everything that happened today, like trying to pick something.
You're actually trying to pick. Okay, I mean, that looks...
I'm just lining up the rigging with my eyesight. That looks perfect.
It looks perfect. Does it not look perfect?
It does look perfect.
It looks perfect.
Okay.
And that looks so effing good.
That looks really good.
We've been not so casually freaking out that it's not perfectly symmetrical because we measured everything off the rigging, but the rigging moves.
But it turns out it is right, and we were wrong in thinking it was wrong, and we just checked and it's right, and it looks great.
Mm-hmm.
But our...
Yeah, we had a minor meltdown for the past hour.
Well, because the panels at the... There's one place where the panels, it seems like possibly they're not symmetrical, because in that one place the measurements are different on either side, aka not symmetrical, but it has to do with the way that the gutter was faired. But I'm not going to point it out.
Yeah, you'll never know.
Because I can't even tell right here, and I know exactly where the problem is.
Yeah.
So I'm just not going to mention it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
And then it won't bother you guys.
Exactly. We stopped after 3 panels because we were like, holy cow, do we need to tear down the entire hardtop and start over?
No. That's...
That was the conversation.
No.
And that's why Jade wanted to fight something or somebody.
Yeah, I
But we're
wanted to
good.
fight Brett because I was worried about a 1/4 of an inch difference.
So right now, it's those 1/4 inches, guys. So right now, we're at 500 watts. More to come.
Revisiting an old topic. Brett and Jade, why have you finished?
Where have you been for the past months?
Why is this taking so long? It's because of this. It's always this. It's like 1/16 of an inch off, and okay, a week extra now. Maybe, I don't know. That might be dramatic.
I think we can still get this up tomorrow. Maybe by the end of the video. We'll see.
But this video publishes tomorrow.
So probably not.
Yeah. This potentially is the end of this video. If it is the end of this video, then in the next video, we will presumably have these panels on. We are not quitting YouTube. We're gonna keep YouTubing. We've just been really trying to finish this project, and we're totally safe and alive. And like, I'm not gonna say there's a video next week. I don't even know, but there will be another one at some point, and it will be the continuation of this.
Yep. So until then.
Until then, good night. Ciao.